Chapter 7, Alexa Brenner. Locking my locker, I turn and look down the hall both ways. I don't see anyone in my friend group. With how today went, I don't know where anyone might be. I decide to just walk home. I'd prefer to avoid Darius right now, not ready for that confrontation. I debate whether I should even send him a text to let him know. I walk quickly towards my targeted location. Slipping around the other students, I turn the corner and hit the bar on the side exit door. Not losing any momentum in the slight blinding from the sun, my eyes don't adjust fast enough. In the next moment, I'm stopped by another body hitting into one half of my body, and I get pushed back in the direction I came in. Oh, Alexa, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Daniel, a teammate of Darius's, spits out as he grabs my shoulders to steady ourselves. That's okay, I wasn't either, I respond. He lets go to rush off. Returning to my walk home, I see Darius in his truck rolling down the passenger window, looking none too pleased. Get in. His voice is stern. Unable to argue with his tone, I get into his truck. What were you doing with him? I hesitate to answer that question out of confusion, a moment too long for Darius. I asked you a question. He just accidentally ran into me. It was my fault. I wasn't looking where I was going. He puts his truck into drive. I can tell his anger is getting to him by how the truck jerks forward. He knew exactly where he was going. He did it on purpose. Darius jerks the truck, then continues in a smooth roll. I can't talk to him when he gets like this. No matter what, he is always right. Hoping to get off this particular issue, I change it to the one thing he hates the most and my goal for the night, preferably before we are headed in the wrong direction. I have to go to the house today. I need to check up on Raylene. Why the hell do you always have to check up on her? She's fine. He shouts at me. She's just a little girl and she's my responsibility. She's my family. Just take me home, Darius. I sharpen my voice. He hits his hand against the steering wheel, pulling out of the school's parking lot. He turns to the right. He's driving the way to my house instead of his. He doesn't speak for the short 2-minute drive. Unbuckling the seatbelt as we come down the last few houses to mine, I get ready and jump out of the truck as soon as he stops. Darius shouts at me as I start walking away. I'll be here to pick you up in the morning. Don't leave the house until I get here. Darius quickly drives off after his comment, and I watch him leave. I shake it off and go into the house. No one says anything as I come through the door. A stale smell hits me before I can remember not to breathe through my nose. I leave my shoes on because of the stains that cover the ground. Furniture is cluttered by years of collection by the hoarding mentality of some of the people that live here. It's not garbage or anything of the sort. It's just a lot of items that could be done without. The television is on. Walking around the separating wall, I look at the big man sitting on the couch. Dave looks at the television with a vacant look. His actions are automatic as he lifts the pop can to his lips and tips back. The emptied can is set down on the table with a clang. Whoever's in the kitchen, bring me another pop. I'm thirsty, he orders. June comes out of the kitchen holding a couple of cans. She seems slightly startled by the sight of me in the doorway. Bringing the dual cans to Dave, she turns around. She folds her arms and puts most of her weight onto one hip. So you finally decided to show up. Did your boyfriend kick you out? I know it's better to dampen my reaction. No, I came to see Raylene, and I still technically live here. Passing through the kitchen, I quietly open the refrigerator. I grab a couple of apples to take with me. I quietly go down the stairs and into the first door on the left at the bottom of the stairs. The little redhead plays on the floor with the doll I gave her, combing its hair with a hairbrush. She jumps up as the door bumps against the wall, as though she's been caught in the act. Her smile brightens as she sees me. Light blue eyes shine from under a jean material hat. Raylene runs over to me. The slight impact of her weight is comforting. I hug her back tightly, picking her up at the same time. Hi, baby girl. How was school? I prop her up on my hip, closing the door. I walk over to the bed. Setting her down on the bed, she starts her story as I sit beside her. Tommy went to the hospital today. He got all sick and stuff, but my teacher told me he's all better now. And I got to play in the sandbox. And my teacher told us that she has a surprise for us tomorrow, but she won't tell us what it is. I think it might be cookies, but Sally thinks it's going to be a puppy or a kitty. Oh, and Tyler got another toy taken away from him. Well, it wasn't really a toy, it was an eraser. He was pretending it was an airplane. He was playing when the teacher was reading us a story, so he deserved it. Raylene's stomach growls. The little girl simultaneously looks directly at her stomach, brings her hands up to hold it, and makes a shushing sound. I brought you an apple. I prop up the apple a bit to get her attention on it. She takes it from me and bites into it. Do you know why I like apples? Why? I have to ask her, she won't answer. Because they make my teeth wiggly. Ooh, do you think you might lose a tooth soon? Maybe. Her smile fades a little. I missed you. I know, sweetheart, I missed you too. I'm staying tonight. We can do whatever you want, I promise her. Her face lights up again. Can we get Slurpees? I can go get a Slurpees if you want. I don't want to have to ask June or Dave if I can take Raylene. It's easier this way. Okay, can you get me root beer? Of course, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. I give her a quick family kiss on the lips. I hug her before I leave the room. Opening the door right next to Raylene's room, I walk through the unfinished laundry and furnace room to the far room in the corner. Turning the sticky doorknob, giving a hard push on the door, causes me to lose balance as it opens the first push. Normally I have to push at least twice. The stench of cat urine fills my nose. Previous to my living in the room, June had kept her numerous cats in here locked up for most of the time. Feeling my hand along the wall, I find the light switch. Flicking the light doesn't come on. Trying it 1, 2, 3 times, nothing happens. Rolling my eyes, I open the door to its full extension. Walking a couple steps away from my room, I pull the cord to the light in the furnace. The light flickers once but stays on after. Light streams softly into my room through the door, but leaves almost half the room in darkness. Going into my room, I go to the night table beside my bed. Opening the drawer, I pull out my picture album. The small album holds pictures of my older sister and her little red-haired baby girl, dated a little over 4 years ago. Stopping for a moment, I'm drawn to look at the photos, as I am each time I pull out the album. In addition to my sister holding Raylene, the album contains 9 other photos. All of the photos date back 5 or 6 years ago. They mostly contain pictures of my family. It's the last 2 photos that I linger on. The one was taken the night my family was taken from me. It was taken in front of the room. It was taken in the front room of the house. My parents, Kathleen and her husband, all dressed up in their comfiest attires, ready to spend 10 hours. My parents, Kathleen and her husband, all dressed up in their comfiest attires, ready to spend 10 hours on the airplane before they start their vacation. Bags are packed and ready at the door, smiles on all their faces. The last photo is the one Kathleen took of Raylene and me, taken the same day. She had stolen my camera to take a picture of me dangling the locket of my necklace in front of the girl. Her hand reaches for it as her eyes focus on it. I look at the girl I was in the picture. The red of my natural hair shines with the light on it. My face is covered with a couple of freckles here and there. Not a trace of makeup is found. I hadn't started dyeing my hair black yet. A smile that reaches her eyes makes the girl glow in the picture. Myself completely unrecognizable to the person I am now. Flipping the last page over, I open the built-in folder and find a few bills in there. Pulling out a 20, I put it into my pants pocket. I close the album, putting it into the drawer, and shut it tight. Going out of the room, I close the door with a slight bang. Yanking the doorknob closes the half an inch left, satisfied that my door is closed. I pull on the light string, shut it off, and walk over to the dryer. Climbing on top of the machine, then standing up, I open the window. Putting my hands on the ledge in front of the windows, I give a slight jump and use my upper body strength to pull the rest of myself all the way up. I get my leg up on the sill and crawl through, watching out for the garbage and dog feces littering in the yard. I wipe my hands and knees off from the dust and dirt while crouching. Moving around the deck, I avoid being seen by anyone who might happen to be in the kitchen. I run the short distance from the other side of the deck and around the corner of the house. I duck for another window as I make my way to the gate. Lifting the hook out of the eye hook, I slowly let the hook down to rest. Aware of the spider webs that coat the gate, paranoia lingers that the spiders may still be somewhere on the gate. Watching where I put my hands, I give a small push to the gate. Holding it in place after it becomes loose, I listen for any sounds that would alert me to someone coming this way to check out any sounds I may have made. Not hearing anything, I continue to push the gate open, just enough for me to pass through without touching the rotting wood. I close the gate, pushing twice to get it in its proper place. Reaching over the gate, I find the latch and put it in the eye hook. Knowing that at any point from here that any of the neighbors could see me and rat me out, I make a break for it down the short walking path across the valley and down another walking path. Once out of view of the house and the next door neighbors, I slow down to a brisk walk. A short 3 blocks away, I walk into a small corner store. Against the back wall are the Slurpee stations. After filling 2 cups with slush, I walk over the till. The man behind greets me and rings through the purchase. I pull out the cash from my pocket and hand it to him. He puts the cash in the till, then counts out and hands back my change. The change goes into my pocket. I grab the cups and walk out without any further pleasantries. Walking home quickly, my speed increases from a brisk walk to a jog, then once more into a sprint the closer I come to the house. Stopping roughly by angling back and sliding against the loose rock on the pavement, I quickly peek around the corner of the fence. The coast is clear. I climb the slight slope. Reaching one hand over the gate, I fish and pull up on the now located latch. Ducking down, I speed back the way I'd come. Looking through the window, I look to see if June is in the laundry room. She isn't there. Opening the window, I crawl through enough to place the cups on the ledge to the side. Backing out this time, I place my legs first and sit down on the ledge myself. Closing the window behind me, I look down at the floor and track the safest and quietest location to jump down. Placing my feet against the wall and pushing my hands on each side beside me. In one motion, I kick and push my hands back, bypassing the dryer and landing on the floor with a slight pain in my feet is the only evidence of my long fall. It goes away as fast as it comes. Crawling back up onto the dryer, I grab the cups and place them on the dryer and crawl back down. Grabbing the drinks once more, I go out the door and knock on Raeline's door before opening it and walking straight in. The redhead looks up the door and grins knowingly, anticipating the drink she knows I'm bringing her. "Hey, baby girl, I've got your root beer slushie." She cheers and repeatedly her thanks over and over enthusiastically. I close the door behind me and walk over and sit on the bed. Raeline gets up from the floor and hops onto the bed. I hand her the smaller cup. The normally talkative girl is quiet for a moment as she scarfs down her sugary drink. I pause my actions for a moment as I ponder whether or not I should tell her to slow down. Raeline starts to slow down on her own towards the end of her drink. She speaks as soon as she finishes her last bit. "Can you color with me?" "Yes, sure." Raeline hands me her empty cup, then jumps off the bed as soon as I agree. She runs over to her desk and sits on her chair, where she has a couple of coloring books and a pack of crayons. I get off the bed, walking to her desk. I stop to stand next to her chair. She has one of her coloring books open to a picture of mermaid and fishes. She's already picked out a red crayon. "Can you color her hair red?" She doesn't wait for my answer. Raeline shoves a crayon into my hand. She picks up a green crayon for herself to use on the fish. I start coloring my portion. I get 3/4 of her hair colored when the ceiling shakes. As 3 thuds are heard, June is stomping on the ground. Since arriving here, June has stomped on the ground as a replacement for calling us. The longer it takes to respond, the louder and angrier the thuds sound. Supper is probably ready. Raeline jumps up from her spot and rushes up the stairs. By the time I catch up, she is at the table eating her sandwich. June frowns when she sees me. "I just made an easy supper tonight. Eat quickly because you have a bunch of chores to do. Do the laundry, tidy the main areas of the house, and take out the garbage. You need to catch up on chores you've skipped out on for the last couple days. This house better be clean by the time I wake up tomorrow morning, or you'll get double duty tomorrow." June dismisses herself and walks away. I hear the door creak and slam. Her punishment for my misbehavior seems to always be making me to clean the house. The work keeps me busy enough to keep the evening boredom away, but cuts down on the time I can spend with Raeline. I curse at her in my head, but I know better than not to do the work. I don't want anything to backfire against me or Raeline. I scarf down my sandwich and get to work. Walking through the kitchen and down the hall, I stop at the first door I come to. After knocking on it, a preteen male answers the door. I look over the boy and into the only spotless room in the house. "Andy, can I get your laundry?" I ask.